Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Sprout. So, I've done a lot of miscellaneous things since last episode. You'll notice I actually put in the glass on this floor. I haven't started working on the next floor up. And actually, since it's nighttime, let me grab our Skywave Resonator. I want to show you guys something. Just kind of a heads up. Also, back here, I put in a few more of these water meals because I wanted to add a few more chunk loaders. I added 2 more chunk loaders. They are, well, one of them's over here, and then one of them is over here. Okay. But anyways, let's go ahead and where to start? I've got a lot of stuff to go over. It's not going to take a whole lot of time, but I do have a few things to go over, and I want to show you guys something with the... Wait, is the sun's coming up. Dang it. Okay. Well, we'll have to wait. For the next nighttime, so I can show you guys that. Anyways, over here, our mana pools have actually filled up. I left it running for a little while yesterday, and got these filled up. And if we pop through here, that one's filled up, that one's filled up, and these here are filled up. Okay? And we've got a little bit of mana in here now. It's not a whole lot, I don't believe. It's actually not too bad. It seems like it's generating when I'm not at the town, because I've been away from the town for a bit, and it's actually built up mana while I was away, which is interesting. I like the idea of that. I didn't think the slimes would spawn if I was away, but maybe they are. And actually that area's not chunk loaded. I don't know how it got mana, but I did, and I'm not going to complain about it. But anyways, you'll notice I have a new tool here. This is the Terra Truncator. I don't know. Terra Truncator. That's what I'm going to call it. I went ahead and crafted this. It requires 4 pieces of Terra Steel to make, a little bit of glowstone, living wood twigs, nothing too expensive. And the reason being is because I was working on roads. I was debating between, because there's actually going to be 3 different methods of travel that we'll have at our disposal whenever we want to move between towns. One of those, well, actually 4 methods of travel. So it's actually a lot of work to implement all this. As in everything within this pack, we're going big on everything. So, of course, first up we have the subway, which is not done. I started to work on the subway, and I started, like, digging this out because I was going to lay the floor. And then I was like, well, I think I need to do the roads first, and then work on the actual subway system. Also, I did add a little bit more walls. I worked on the walls a little bit, but they take forever. So I started working on the roads, okay? And this actually took a while. And this is the reason I made the Terra Truncator. And right here, this is all platforms. It's not done, but I've got it at least started. You know, I laid the main frame, which is the stone that runs through here. And right here is where I needed the Terra Truncator, because I have these huge dark oak wood trees. And originally I was thinking about doing a supercharged axe from Silence Gems, but we're at the point now where Terra Truncator, it's not too bad, and you don't have to keep feeding it mana to tear it up like you do with the Terra Shatterer. So, which the Terra Shatterer we'll get into, but just not just yet. But anyways, I needed the Terra Truncator to clear through all these trees because it was terrible, like terribly dense forest, and I had a lot of roads to run. So, anyways, if we follow this back, I love all these cobble golems that spawn everywhere. These roads run all the way over to our desert. And I got to noticing how big our desert town's going to be. Because it's going to be like this section here is going to be the desert town. So it's actually going to be slightly bigger. Well, I don't know. This town's going to be big too because so far, you know, we've been focusing all of our efforts here. But this wall is actually going to run over like that and then come around here on the river front, and then we'll have a dock there and everything. We're also going to have a dock here as well, kind of where that boat's at, that connects out to the ocean, but these towns take forever. But yeah, so anyways, the roads run all the way over to here, and then if we pop over here, we have the beginnings of a town, sort of. Right over here we have a level 1 builder. Um, he's just sitting out here watching the river, I guess. And then over here I have the house that they both share. It's a level 2 house. That's what it looks like. And then we have a level 2 builder. Why are my builders like in random places? But anyways, we have this builder right here. This is a level 2. But it was funny because both me and Xavier, we were both like discussing like ideas of how to get this town built. Because I didn't want to have to run builders over here, right? And then when I finally got on here, it dawned on me right as I went to actually start working on the town that if I started the builder and then I assigned somebody to the builder and then recalled them, they'd be here and pow, we'd have somebody here to build. Okay, so it actually was super simple. Just put down the thing, hire a worker, and then recall them. So I totally overthought the whole process way too much. By the way, these buildings are actually pretty cool. Like this one ends up getting like a whole like separate section that's added on. They all have like upstairs with carpets and all of that. I think the desert town's going to look really cool once it's done. I really, really do. And I have some really fun ideas for it because I was doing some thinking, and I decided that the cat factory is actually going to go over here. We're going to start that in the next few episodes. Also, our astral sorcery tower is going to go over here, and we're also going to be starting that in the next few episodes. That's one thing I want to show you here, because there was 2 different locations that were in good spots that I was debating between setting up the astral sorcery tower in one of those 2 spots, right? And one of them is actually in the desert town. And I'm planning on the desert town being a lot of sandstone, a lot of oasis look, you know, a lot of greenery and stuff like that. Some water, some glowstone, and then a bit of marble as well. Because marble just looks good, you know, in a desert type setting. And our astral sorcery tower is going to be a lot of marble. So it's actually going to work out really, really well. I think it's going to match our town superbly. And I'll show you the location of that once night hits, like where I'm planning on setting that up. But as for right now, it's just the bare beginnings of our town. Okay, I went ahead and rushed builders, and today one thing that we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be moving our town hall, because our town hall at the other town is a level 5, and so it's time that it gets moved. So, and I will say that we're not really ready to start the cat factory or start astral sorcery or start the railroad system today, but there is some other things that I want to work on, some other mods that I want to get started with and begin progressing in those. So that's kind of what my intentions are for today, is doing some of that. And then by next episode, since I've got the road ran, I've got the town started, you know, we're going to start the town hall this episode. And probably by next episode, we will be doing either the cat factory, astral sorcery, or the railroad. One of those 3, I think. So anyways, that's the main things I wanted to cover before we got started. So let's go ahead and begin. And the first thing that we are going to do, at long last, is move this. This town hall block is ready to move. And I don't know for sure if I was to break this. Okay. I was hoping it didn't like break everything. I'll probably put another like one of these fences and pressure plates here to make it look like a desk to make up for this block missing, but I don't know why he keeps doing this. He keeps teleporting on top of this. It makes building walls so terrible because he literally, every time he takes a trip over there, he jumps on top of the wall. And then I have to come over here and I have to recall him, and he's a major pain. Alright, but anyways, let's go ahead and pop on over here. I cannot sprint for some reason. There we go. Forgot you have to, if you're already moving, you have to hit like control and forward at the same time. Alright, but I want to put down our town hall, so at least we have it placed. It's going to be, I imagine, probably a little bit expensive, but that's okay. If I recall correctly, we were going to put it right over here, I think. Because I wanted to have it kind of offset from where that's at and more centralized. And actually, right in here is like the perfect spot. It's like the center of the town, actually. So Town Hall, level 5, even though it lags so bad when I do this. I can't even fly, it's so lagged. I believe, is this the front? Yeah, this is the front. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and rotate this monstrosity. This thing is so massive. That's one thing about the like desert town stuff is it's so big. Like it really, really is. Like I feel like with the standard like what 100 block radius or something, like it just wouldn't be big enough to really like do a big thing because of how big everything is. Okay, I think right here is where I want it because I'm going to do some landscaping right here and clean that up, but I think right in here because this is like the perfect spot. It's actually at the top of kind of like a little mountain type area, I guess. Man, this place is massive. Oh, our villager teleported over here. Alright, and actually the sun is setting, so let me grab my Skywave Resonator, and here we go. This is what a starfield looks like, right? And so if we take a look here, you can see this area over here is... Whoops. You can see that this area over here is like super dense, and then it kind of fades off a little bit in this section. That area is like super star power, basically. It's a super star field, and then kind of a weaker one that attaches onto that. So that's where I'm actually going to build the astrological tower. It's right over here. And it's going to be nice because there's going to be the town hall right here, and then kind of flanking it off to the side here is going to be our tower. Now, the other place that I was thinking about building it is if we pop over here, we have another superstar field right here. Okay, so I was thinking about, maybe having the bridge come out and then the pathway come up to here. And at first I like that idea, but having it right in the middle of the sand town, because I kind of want to... As we progress, I want to have kind of our magic in different little facets of our builds spread out across the different towns. So I was like, Sandtown is totally getting astral sorcery, right? Like it would be perfect. It would be fitting. Anyways, let me sleep real quick. I want to show you guys. I want to start the building of the town center, the town hall, and just see what the resource requirements on this are. So go ahead and build building. Let's see, Fortune X Cranford got it, and that's this guy right here. So if we pop in here, what does it cost to make this monstrosity? 597 birch, 127 slabs, 438 dirt. Awesome. We've also got sandstone, 236, 613 smooth sandstone, 156 stairs, 110 torches. That's just for the level 1. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, I mean, luckily sand, it's not like we're hurting for sand. So that'll be okay. The colonist Tiago G. Godner just died. Oh, by the way, if you build in the sand area, beware of prickly pear cactuses. These things, of course, are nice because you can gather food off of them. However, the villagers, for some reason, they see them as grass, and they will literally just kill themselves on prickly pear cactuses. So I've been kind of breaking these off. I'm probably going to set up a little farm for these eventually, but for right now, I need them out of the way because my villagers will kill themselves on these. So, just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention. I feel as though we're starting back from square one with the whole new village and everything. But anyways, I'm going to have to give that some thought because I'm going to have to get birch being farmed. I don't have hardly any birch. I mean, I had enough to make those little buildings that have some birch floors and stuff like that, but birch is not something that I have being farmed. So I'm not for sure if I want to do it with, we could either do another lumberjack setup and have birch being farmed, maybe in the sandstone town. Or I could also do it with Botania. That's an option. Or I could do it with Ars Magica. Or I could do it with Blood Magic. Or I could do it with pretty much all different kinds of methods for automatic wood farming. So I'm not for sure. I'll have to give that some thought. I mean, setting up the town hall, I'm not going to do that on camera because that's going to take forever. And I'm actually not going to do it until I have birch being farmed in some form or fashion. So I was just kind of curious on the resource requirements, and I wanted to go ahead and get that place down so I knew when it came time to build my Astral Sorcery Tower how I wanted to lay that out. So anyways, the first thing that I want to do today is I haven't done this. I've actually been using this mainly for one segment of the wall, but I actually want to use the scan tool today, and I also want to use the golden lasso. And I want to go over the scan tool with you guys on camera because I haven't done that, and it's something kind of important for mine colonies. So far, the only thing I've really used the scan tool on is it's one of these segments. Basically, because mine colonies doesn't have... It has one corner, I think it's this corner, but it doesn't have this corner, so I made like a replica of that angle. You know, with this side facing inwards. And so I did use the scan tool for that, but I want to show you guys how the scan tool works today. And I think, if I recall, I think this town over here actually has what I want. So let me just pop over here. And if you want to see something funny, look at this. Like, I've deleted the custom NPCs folder, but I'm going to have to kill off all the hunters at some point. But this is from when the pack used to have the NPC duplication glitch. Like, there's just hunters everywhere. Like, to give you an idea, they brought down this dragon on their own at some point. So, I've looted the thing a couple times, but it keeps respawning, and I don't know why that is. Which, I'm not complaining, I guess, but it does keep, the corpse keeps coming back. So, it's not the only dragon that I've had that happen with. Some of the dragons down in the caves do that. But, oh well. What can you do? But anyways, what I'm looking for is this building right here, in fact. We're going to start moving some NPCs, and we're going to start with this one, I believe. This is, of course, the banker. And if we step in here, banker and teller, let me get salt wall, chair. Yeah, then there's some chisels and bits here too. I wonder if the builder's going to be able to handle those chisels and bits. Probably. Probably. But what we're going to do is we are going to use our scan tool on this. And I'm going to go ahead and just clean up a little bit of this section around here, just so it makes it a little bit easier to scan it. Because then I don't have all this sand, because the scan tool works in a square, and I don't want all this sand here personally. Because then if you have, say, sand here, then you have to copy that sand over whenever you go to build the building. So basically from here all the way over here looks good. I am going to clean up this, that, and I'm actually going to remove this stuff because I'm going to want it setting on sand. So all this dirt can go. Well, actually, no. I'm just going to copy this part and not copy the part where the dirt's at. So, never mind. And then it's going to come over to here, and then up to there. Okay, so it's pretty well squared now. It's pretty well done. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Scan Tool, this tool right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to right-click, and it's going to say 0.1 saved. And then if we come over here, let's see, the front is right there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this point right here and just copy that, 0.2 saved, right-click again to save the schematic. And there we go. Scan successfully saved as blah, blah, blah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up this whole building. That way we just have the materials on us. Because whenever you go to build the building, of course, you're going to need the resources to build it. But if you pull up the building where the NPCs were, then you have everything. So you don't have to worry about that. Let me get my ring of magnetization. Throw that on. And then just give me just a bit. I'm basically just going to dismantle this entire building. And then these NPCs, I'm going to capture... I can only get one of them, I guess. Oh, no, I've got more golden lassos. Totally didn't realize that, because when I was making chunk loaders, I made new ones. I thought I just had one for some reason. I'm going to take the teller. That's weird. Just kill them. Anyways, I'm going to take them both in golden lassos. And I'm going to get this whole building dismantled, all the chisels and bits, every bit of it, basically. I want to dismantle. So, I'll be back once I get this whole building torn down. Alright, so there we go. That whole little building is gone now. So then what we're going to do is we're going to pop over to here. And let me get out my building tool. We're pretty much done with the scan tool now. But anyways, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have the banker be like right over here, I think. So basically what we want to do is we want to go to My Schematics. And you're going to have different scans. Now you can go in. You can see there's that wall that I built. But you can go in, I believe you can rename them. I haven't got around to doing that, going into the files and renaming them. But anyways, let's go ahead and set up our banker. And I've still got that sandstone block there, because I've got this overhang, but then I can just break that off. It's not a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the banker like right here. And it's interesting that they're both in there. Like it's counting them as like blocks or something. I don't know. And it's not, some of these blocks, like the chiseled, all the chiseled rock and a lot of that stuff's not showing up. I don't know if they're actually going to require it or not, but we're about to find out. This is the first time I've ever done stuff with chiseled blocks, so I'm quite curious. But then what we can do is Arthur V. Krug, that's him. And you've got food and everything. Basically, I'm just going to load up his inventory with, how do you get leather? Something must have died or something. I'm going to load his inventory up then with all this stuff. Wasn't there more? Oh no, it was a lot of chiseled stone, I think. Anyway, where's he going? Oh, he's going over at his place. And then I guess whatever he doesn't place, I can place. So it's not really a big deal. Where did the doors go? Because there was those sliding doors. I know it showed them as oak seat backs, though. So I don't know. I'm going to put those in there. Maybe that's what it was. Who knows? Let's see. If we take a look at this. Basalt wall, books, wooden tables. There's chiseled, some kind of chiseled rock. Glass panes, oak doors, oak planks. Huh, it looks like he's just going to put oak doors on there. Even though it was like a different kind of door. I don't know. That should be okay, though. It's not really... Okay. Anyways, he's going to start building this. I may have to go get some pieces. I'm kind of curious to see if he's going to place down the chiseled blocks, though. Looks like he wants that. And these guys move super slow, as you can tell. Like, they just walk everywhere. So I'm just going to recall him, try to help him out a little bit. I don't know if it's just because it's so untamed, just sand everywhere, or what. But and actually, while we're over here, let's go ahead and break this waystone off. This is, well, it says Desert Town. We'll leave it, actually. Because that's what I want it to be called, just Desert Town. Now, we'll probably eventually name our towns. I'm just not for sure what I want to name it just yet. So for the time being, Desert Town is perfect. That's the perfect name for this. I'm going to pull this ring off, actually. Alright, so he is building now. I'll tell you what, your shovel... He may want some of these things. Oak planks, oak door, chiseled rock. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Because I literally picked up everything. I almost think it's this chiseled stone that he's wanting. Oak seat backs. Because he ran through all of... Oh no, there's some of that right there. I don't know. What happened to that chiseled brownstone that he had? Because I totally gave that to him, but now it's gone. Because I've got to figure out exactly what that is. I don't know. It's like he just ate everything or something. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's warp out to a different town. Let's go to this Waystone of Populace. And I'm going to find another banker. And see about what they've got. What is this building? Just that... Oh, this is that smeltery. See, I think it's this right here. This chiseled rock. Because I think that's what goes right here. So if I was to grab this stuff... See, I get it. But then he just, like, destroys it, and then he's like, I want more. Like, he doesn't actually use it. And those doors are oak seat backs for some reason, which is kind of bizarre. I don't think that's what they are if you place them down. I'm just going to steal this guy's floor. Once we have our bankers in place, assuming that they don't vanish, we don't really have to worry about going to the bankers anymore. And I'm going to steal this oak door. Oops. I'm just wrecking this town right now. I'm taking all this oak so I don't have to go back to my town to get oak. Okay, and we're just going to pop back over here and see if maybe I can just place down the brownstone. Is kind of what I'm hoping. Maybe. Why is there a random door here? I have no clue what's going on. I wonder something. If I open this up, I've got the oak door that he wants. Now this stuff, can I, maybe if I rotate it all to like the same direction? Yeah, see now I can add it in there. But for some reason I don't have nearly as much as what he wants. Because he wants way more. I think it's doing all the chisels and bits and just flagging them all together, I think is what it's doing. Because it's not really counting those other chiseled bits that were on the list. But yeah, you could see he's going back to work now, so. But really, that should be everything from that list. Okay, he can't place chisel bits. Because now he's just like, oh, here you go. There's the brownstone. But it's totally, or the rock, and it's totally not, you know. Somehow he's just eating the chiseled bits. Like, they're just vanishing. I don't think they're in this inventory. I think he's literally just eating them right now. Yeah, he is just eating them. Okay, so I'm going to have to hand place those. That's fine. It's not a big deal. It's kind of a headache, but not really a big deal. So, like in his mind, he thinks that he's placing them. He's just not actually placing them. So, that's what's happening. And I think he's got all the rest of this. I don't know what else would be chiseled rock. I think that's it. So I'm just going to head back, and then if I have to come back out for more stuff, I can. Okay, there we go. So it's a replica of the Banker building now. And it's actually really interesting. It took forever to get this built because it was a headache and a half. Like, first up, I started putting down the brownstone, right? And he was still kind of building. So I put down all the brownstone floor, and then he comes along behind me and decides, I don't want this brownstone here. So he starts breaking it all. And then he wants more brownstone. Because he doesn't pick up the brownstone, he just breaks it. And then he's requesting more of it. So I had to go get more brownstone. And then more brownstone for me to actually build. So I ripped up, like, altogether, I think I ripped up like 5 bankers trying to build this. And then he put down the doors. But he didn't have the brownstone there because he refused to have any kind of block there. So he put down the doors. And at first he put down the oak seat backs. They turned into Melissa's doors for some reason. And just fell on the ground. So I picked those up. I was like, okay, well, I'll put these down. Because anytime I harvested the banker, I got oak seat backs. But he magically turned them into Melissa's doors. I don't know. But then he went and he requested 2 oak doors. They didn't actually go anywhere. He just requested them. Came over here and acted like he placed them. But instead they just vanished. Actually, I need to turn this around. So I don't know what those, no. I want this chair to go, there we go. And then it was funny because whenever he finally finished the building, like he got everything placed, there wasn't a floor down, you know, there wasn't this. But when he first finished it, there was 2, he actually spawned in, somehow he magically spawned in a banker and a teller. And they were there for all of about 4 seconds, then they just fell over dead, vanished, and then it crashed. So, anyways, I did go ahead and I placed the brownstone that we needed, and I placed these blocks. I will say that probably in the future, if I'm going to copy a building like this, I am going to not copy any of the chiseled bits. Just copy the actual blocks that he can handle, because he cannot handle chiseled bits, and it just causes all sorts of problems when you try to run those through. But I also added some pressure plates out here just so it automatically opens. But anyways, let's go ahead and pull out our banker and our teller. And I'm going to put these down. I'm hoping they don't vanish. This area is chunk loaded, so fingers crossed that they don't vanish. We'll put the banker there. Actually, that's backwards, isn't it? Oh, I don't want to kill him. I don't want to pick him up because then he'll die. So I'll just... well, I got the banker, but I did not get the teller. Oh, man. And he's the one that I actually need. The banker's just got all this stuff. I mean, I'm going to start using the banker now that we have access to it, but I've got to go find another, like a new teller. Maybe there'll be one here. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that was probably the biggest headache to do that. So, chisels and bits, in the future, not going to place those. Not going to have them try to place those. And it looks like I found one of the towns that does not have a banker in it. Awesome. Oh, wait, what's up here? Looks like just the windmill building. Yeah. But anyways, I'm going to fly out here and see if I can find a town. But I will say that I'm planning on moving, end up moving, all the NPCs. You know, I was waiting for the desert town to have the banker. Which, I mean, granted, I could put another banker inside of my normal, my main town or whatever if I wanted to. But I wanted the banker and the teller in the sand town because the sand town is going to be designed to be kind of like the wealthy town, right? So it kind of makes sense that it would be there, I feel like. So that was kind of my thought process on that. That was something I was wanting to implement for a while, and now that we're starting that sand town up, I figured, we'll go ahead and do that. Plus, it's a good time, you know, to cover the scan tool as well. It's like the ideal time for that. What is this? Is this just a rogue? No, this doesn't look like a roguelike dungeon. This is a roguelike dungeon. Some of these roguelike... Whoa, what's this? What's this? I remember this building. This is from Grimoire of Gaia, right? I think that's the one that adds it. I can't remember, but... yeah, if I recall, it's just another one of those mazes with nothing good in it. I'm going to find a chest. Usually there's chests around here somewhere. I remember running into this. I can't remember the pack that I ran into this a lot. It's been a little while. I can't remember what that pack was, but I remember the pack I was playing that had these, though. There was like sphinxes and mummies outside of them usually, which I think actually are Grimoire of Gaia mobs, but there might be some outside. Like, it was still kind of loading in, but there's a cave spider. Of course I'm going to get poisoned. You. Okay, here's a chest. Yeah, it's just... That is a lot of gold, in all fairness, but... It's kind of hit or miss, and at the end of the day, I don't feel like doing a maze for gold and coal. You know? It's one thing, they add some of the coolest dungeons with Grimoire of Gaia. I'm pretty sure this is Grimoire of Gaia. I think that adds this, but I could be wrong. But anyways, they add like some of the coolest dungeons, but there's like nothing in them like to make you want to go through them, you know? Alright, here we go. Back outside with us. Is there any sphinxes around here? Not really seeing any. I am going to have to move one of those NPC golem guys, like the Britannia guys. I'm going to have to move one of them over to our town. I'm probably going to put that in our Britannia area, though. Since he is, you know, mainly Britannia focused, after all. The worst thing about exploring, though, is, like, it lags so bad. It takes forever for the game to catch up so you can actually do anything. That's the worst thing. I swear, I think I've ran out of towns with bankers in them. Like, I just keep looking. But kind of what I'm thinking is we'll probably have, there's a thing there, but I'm not even worried about it at this point. It's such a minute amount of currency that you get from those. But kind of what I'm thinking is we will have oh yeah, this is one of those dungeons that we never actually cleared. I mean, it's really just, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go for the top. Alright, what do we got here? I think it's just all the RF Tools stuff. like all the different absorbers, but I figured we'd go ahead and hit it up because we've never actually went through one of those dungeons before, but we're killing all the NPCs off. Anyways, it's 2 material absorbers, 2 liquid, and 2 biome. It'll be a long time before we, even mess with those, so. But I am thinking of having like a market district, probably in our sand town, and we'll have NPCs that we vendor stuff to. So, like the stable master, we'll have him there. We'll have probably a dragon slayer person there. We'll have, the archaeologist. And, some of the buildings aren't going to be just cut and paste like the banker was. The banker building, I think it's fitting. I like it. And it actually, looks good and everything. So, that one I just copied over. Now, the archaeologist, for example, I plan on, with his, actually building out like an archaeological dig site kind of look. It's kind of what I'm thinking. What is this thing? It's got like a ladder. I don't know if it actually goes. It doesn't look like it goes anywhere, though. It just kind of goes up. Okay. Like some kind of little scout tower or something. It's taking forever, by the way, to find another, like, vendor guy. Streamline 5. Take the Pally's Crystal, I guess. I don't plan on really doing much with actually additions in this pack, but, ooh, Death Fruit. Nora Crystal Block. Yeah, we'll take that stuff. What do we got here? This one is Mining Fatigue. Okay. Not really a very useful one, I don't feel like. I can't think of any mobs that I'd want to slow down their mining speed, but I guess that's another one of those, though. Haha! I think we want to kill this guy again, don't we? I kind of feel like yes. So, let's do this. I'm just going to go straight for him. Aha! There we go. He is dead. Alright, we got mining fatigue. Is that what he... Okay, I guess he just dropped that. I know when I tested him in my creative world, he dropped a totem, but I haven't really had him drop any totems since then, so... Anyways, we can trade with those guys, by the way. It's nothing that great, though. It's like dart guns and little odd and end things like that, but you can wear the mask and trade with him. So, like, here we go. These little wandering bands of them. Now, they're all in combat. I don't know that I can trade with them right now. Anyways, just know that you can trade with them. Okay, I found another town. Fingers crossed that this one has what we're looking for. I'm going to look in here, though. I'll take the alloys, I guess. But what is this pumpkin building? It's like just all pumpkins and pumpkin seeds. Never seen that one before. It is looking like there's no banker here, though. I sure hope not. I would hate for there to be a banker here. No, no banker. Okay. Off again. Originally I was planning on doing some other stuff other than exploring, but now we're just kind of exploring at this point, trying to find a banker. What do we get? Fire resistance. Actually, I think there's only one level to that, so that one's useless. We can sell it. I mean, the price isn't that great on those. I kind of wish the ability totems were a little bit better, or like the rarity had an effect on how much you got. Because, like, now I just kind of pass them up. I don't even feel like picking them up. Here we go. Here we go. No, there's no banker here. There is something really cool looking, though, over here. Like, look at this. I believe it's just another one of those dungeons with, like, nothing in it. But it's still really cool looking. Like, it reminds me of my Infotech build, kind of. I mean, it's a bit different, but that's what makes me think of. There is a lot of redstone here. I mean, I guess if you needed redstone and bookshelves. But I don't. Hay bales. Upstairs, what do we got here? More redstone. So much redstone. And then if we pop all the way up. I guess this is all the way up. What's up here? Oh, nothing. Huh. So not even like a single chest or anything. Interesting. Oh, there is chests though. I just found some. We're gonna have to remove this though. With cobwebs in it. Okay. Cool. Anyways, the cobweb chests are in these like little tower sections. But those dungeons, I wish there was good stuff in those because they're so cool, they're so impressive. I would love like mini bosses or something with like chests at the top or whatnot. That would be kind of cool. But anyways, back to our village search. Okay, we've actually got one of those snake dungeons over here. So, whoops. Whoops. All right, let's zip through this real quick. And I will take that, thanks. There we go. Okay, let's see what we got here. Unlock. Whatever that is. We'll find out in a second. I'm gonna try to find like a little bit of a safe place, maybe? Okay, unlock. Entities in the area have a lower chance on good loot. Okay. Because, you know, I wouldn't want the enemies getting good loot. That's for sure. Alright. I was hoping for, like, something, like, crazy awesome. Yeah, we got another one of these dungeons. Man, like, I just can't find any new towns. Like, oh my gosh. Let's get it. And there's a mine shaft connected onto this one. Interesting. What did we get? We got fire resistance. Cool. Cool. That's what I wanted. Oh wow, look at this little baby dead dragon. Is that a... Yeah, that's a stage 1 skull. Like, look how small these are. Meh. Huh. I didn't know that stage 1 dragons could even spawn in the world like that, honestly. 1,000,000 years later, I finally found a teller. It was about an hour of flying around. It took a while. Alright, so this guy right here. You are mine, sir. Just die from the golden lasso. Alright, what is this over here? Oh, just another roguelike dungeon. Okay. I am going to... Actually, I didn't activate the Waystone of Populace. It's over here. Even though that dragon's, like, really wanting to burn the place down. And let's go ahead and pop this. We'll head back over to the desert town. And fingers crossed this works this time. If not, I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream a little bit. Oh, cool! Awesome, because, you know, this may not work out, actually. Awesome. Cool. Okay, I give up. I don't know what to do. They just vanish. They just vanish whenever I move them. I don't even know that we're going to be able to move NPCs here. We're just going to have to keep going farther out to, like, vendor things. Because my NPCs just steadily vanish, so I have to just keep going farther out and farther out. Oh, man. I don't know. I may come in later in creative mode. I just spent basically like wasted an hour flying around looking for that guy too. But I may come in creative mode. I imagine maybe there's a spawn egg for bankers and tellers. I don't see one. But I don't know. I may try to spawn some in and maybe they'll stay. Maybe they just don't like me moving them. I don't know. I mean, they vanish when they're in the wild too. Like the elusive banker and teller. Oh, man. Okay. Well, anyways, we have the building. That's what I wanted to show you guys. So, cool. And anyways, the other thing that I wanted to do this episode, let me actually... Can I loot this? Can I loot this today? Ah! I'm just clicking on the millions of hunters. Okay, what do I got? Just the dragon heart. Anyways, I wanted to look at these guys. The rudimentary snares. Okay. These are 32 bronze coins each. And currently I have 18 bronze coins. What does he buy again? Fur. But the thing is, the thing that drives me insane is I'm at the point now where I can't find any tellers. I have to go out and find new cities to change out my money. And so it's really getting frustrating to buy things at the moment because of that. Oh, I'm probably just going to trade in things that actually give me bronze coins. Well, there's an archaeologist here. Certain NPCs I've noticed do not seem to vanish. That's like the Botania Golem, the archaeologist, the blacksmith, the stable master. None of those have ever vanished for me. What is that? Oh, it's a light mage. Okay. But it's like certain ones, and the hunters just keep spawning. Man, he gives me iron coins for that. What did I just sell? Cool, I didn't sell the one that I meant to sell. Whoops. Well, I was actually wanting to get bronze coins. If it's at all possible, but I guess not. Oh, man. This is going to be so frustrating. Okay, tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to... Oh, man, these doors... I'm about to just remove all the doors off all my buildings because of that. Like, my NPCs just keep getting stuck. That's why I've stopped even bothering giving them tools at this point, because they just keep getting stuck and they can't get out of their houses. And, like, all my delivery men are stuck in houses, and everybody's just trapped in this, in my town. So I'm just kind of like... I'm halfway giving up on actually having them doing anything productive. They're just kind of like... here for looks as much as anything. But I think what I'll do is I'll probably just remove all the doors so they can actually like get around. Oh man, she's got the mother load of wheat here. Alright, I'm just stocking up on wheat because I'm going to go sell this to the stable master. He actually just gives me straight up bronze coins. I don't know. What I'm thinking about doing is just like loading up a chest with currency and then going like using that as my bank. So if I actually have the currency, then I can trade it for better currency. Because tellers just it's not working. They just keep vanishing on me. I have tried and tried and tried to make them work, but I mean I'm gonna do a bit of trying between this episode and next, try to sort something out with those, but as of right now, they just keep vanishing. I wonder if I put, like, name tags on them, if they would stop. I might try that next time. I might just put a name tag on there, and if they can even accept name tags. I don't know for sure. But, anyways, we're going to pop over here. Now, technically, I know, according to the patch notes, that there's, like, a hunter building that can spawn, like, in swamps now. But I'm just going to use these guys, because I flew around. I haven't found any, and I'm done flying around right now. And I'm just going to get a few rudimentary snares. I'm going to start with 16, maybe. I'll be able to catch some souls by that point. Let me make sure our particles turned on. That's something I do suggest you make sure. We're going to say particles all. Because otherwise, sometimes it can be kind of hard to find them. There we go. Alright, what kind of soul did we get? We got a... That one's terrible. A .07 wheel quality. That's just horrid. Nope. I mean, I am going to need one wheel that it doesn't matter how good the quality is. And then I'm going to need one that's at least a wheel quality of 1. 3.68. That's perfect. Okay, so that's all the snares that we need. Because we are going to start working towards blood magic. Because to actually, like, finish, you know, right in here we have... under the first town, warehouse management, like finishing the walls, lighting everything up, that's something I'm working on steadily. The warehouse management, I want blood magic to do that. Now, technically, I could use Ars Magica. But the reason I'm not going to use Ars Magica is, if we take a look right here, this is the reason. It's buggy. It's very, very buggy. It looks good. I love Ars Magica, and I like the way that it works and everything, but at the end of the day, it's buggy. So... I'd like to start getting into a little bit of blood magic. I do believe. Let me turn my particles back down. Even though I like the particles for certain things, I don't like the potion effects and all that stuff. So anyways, we got that. The next step, of course, is going to be making our blood altar. This requires a demonic wheel, a furnace. Actually, technically, I think I'm going to need 3 demonic wheels. But I think I can't remember. I can't remember if I get the easier way to do it before I need the next ones or not. I can't remember. But we'll at least kind of get blood magic semi-started today. That was the other thing that I wanted to work on. Alright, so we're going to need a furnace. There we go. And then our blood altar. And yeah, I want to use the 0.07. Alright, so there is that. Now I will say that this is going to eventually get moved. I'm probably actually going to put it in the desert town long term, like our blood setup. But for right now, I'm going to keep it close at hand. I'm going to keep it here. Because this place is safe. I don't want to put it in the desert town because I'm going to be stabbing myself down to like almost dead. There's no mobs that spawn around here anymore. So I'd rather do it here for the self-sacrifice part of things. So anyways, there is our blood altar. And I tell you what, actually, I'm going to put it... for starting out purposes, our temporary blood altar setup, I'm actually going to put it like right over here for right now. And I'm going to put it like 3 high. Blood altar right there, and then for right now I'm just going to put cobblestone. Alright, like that. And there's my wood in the trash. I'm not even concerned about wood at this point. Unless it was birch. Birch I need, but... anyways. Then I'm going to want to get... not dagger of sacrifice. Sacrificial dagger, just glass, gold, and iron. I love how every time I pull out a piece of glass, it just instantly gets refilled with another piece of glass. And yeah, I didn't do the corporea like I meant to do since last episode. I was working on the roads and just totally, it slipped my mind, honestly. I was focused. That's what I'll say. That's my excuse. Because I was just so focused. Alright. Where beest you crafting table? Sacrificial dagger, there we go. And let's see. I believe the Demon Forge requires something that requires blood, right? Or does it? The Hellfire Forge? It does not. It just requires a block of iron, some gold, some iron. Okay, let me get that. I want to go ahead and get that block as well. Alright, so Hellfire Forge, there we go. Alright, so that's like the most important stuff. Now there's also the incense altar. We're going to need our blood orb though for that. So the first tier of blood orb, that is diamond. Okay. Let me get that. And now let the wild rumpus start. We get to start stabbing ourselves. Now I could do a falling canard. Whoa, I just got like a... Oh yeah, that's right. I don't need a falling canard. I have this monstrosity. Super heal spell. Pow. And super heal spell. And it's a ton of XP too. Like whenever it activates. And I can go ahead and throw on my heavy buffing. Anyways, we've got enough in there. We can go ahead and throw this diamond in there. And let me move this real quick. And I tell you what, technically we've started blood magic. I'm going to mark that off this list. It's going to take a little while. We're going to steadily be working on it because blood magic is kind of grindy, so I tend to try to stretch out the beginning of it, you know, and do a lot of this grindy stuff off camera. Are you crafting? Are you even doing anything right now? It's so slow. I don't know. I always feel that way, like whenever I start up blood magic and it's like doesn't have all the speed increases and stuff. I feel like it's so slow. It is draining though. I can barely see it moving down there. There we go. Alright, so we got our blood orb. We'll go ahead and bind it to us. There we go. And for the incense altar, this requires charcoal. And I believe yeah, that takes... Okay. I'm not even going to worry about upgrading it after the first tier because I stopped self-sacrifice at tier 2. Like, there's just no point in it. By the way, how much mana do we have? Out of just curiosity purposes, how much do we got? It hasn't moved a whole lot this episode, but that's because I've been gone, I think. Alright, let me get the incense altar. Does it have to be charcoal? Really? I did not know that. For some reason I was thinking I could use coal. Charcoal is one of those things, if I'm doing tech, I always have like a ton of charcoal. If I'm not doing tech, I never have charcoal. Because I just don't ever make it. I mean, I know technically cooking wood and all that stuff is good at the beginning of the game to make coal. I just mine it. Unless the pack has like altered mining, like where it's harder to find stuff, I have never once had any issue with charcoal. I mean, with finding coal, so that's why I just don't ever have it on me. Okay, incense altar. Let's put this down, and basically what this is going to do is this is going to infuse our dagger. I'm going to move kind of swiftly through this early blood magic stuff. But anyways, it'll infuse our dagger if we stand near it. You can see it just got infused. It has that orange glow around it. And basically it's going to take like a bunch of our life points and like all in one swing, basically. And now here comes the worst part. We have to make a bunch of blank slates. I hate this part. It's not as bad once you hit like tier 3 or something like that, like a tier 3 altar. But tier 1, tier 2, it's rough. It is rough. Technically, I could semi-automate this right now, this whole process, but I don't know. It would be easier if I had like a good conduit system, and I don't really want to use the Ars Magica conduits for that, and that's because, like I said, they bug out, and they're just, I don't know. And I mean, technically, I guess, without getting into power, I could get some item conduits from Ender.io, but that kind of goes against what I'm going with, like what I'm doing in this series, so I'm not going to do that. We will automate it, or at least semi-automate it. I doubt we're going to fully automate the Blood Altar runes and stuff in this series, just because it's not really the type of series where we're going to need, like, 80 billion runes, or slates. I mean, I keep saying runes, but also we're not going heavy into tech, so we have less options for that. I will say that we're probably going to semi-automate them. So, well, actually, you know what? I tell you what, we might actually fully automate runes, so that we always have like a drawer on hand. Because it's actually, now that I think about it, I can't do it with one altar, but I can do it with like 5 altars and keep a drawer filled with slates at all times, and it's super simple now that I think about it. Like super simple. But yeah, you can see I just stabbed myself. I got a bunch of blood. It took me down to like 2 health with a single stab. So that's basically what that does. It just makes it a little bit quicker for you. You do get a soul fray debuff that you have to kind of wait for it to go down, but okay, this heal spell doesn't give quite as much XP as I thought it did, but it still gives a decent amount. But I've been making blank slates while I was editing a little bit of footage, so we are up to 60 of them now. So let's go ahead and upgrade our altar to tier 2 for today. So if we take a look here, I'm going to go with just straight up speed runes. That's what I always tend to go with. That's going to require blank slates. That's slates and stone. Alright, let's get blank runes, and we are going to want 8 of these. And then for the speed rune, it is just stone and then sugar. Let's see, I might actually be low on sugar. Oh, but I can make it with witch hats. Never mind, we got plenty of sugar. Now I will say we're going to be setting up a sugarcane and a cactus auto farm very soon. The reason I haven't set those up yet is because those are, I'm intending to put them into the, I'm planning on putting those into the desert town. Did I not put witch hats in here? Really? Are they all upstairs, I guess? Okay, I actually think I might have been thinking of a different series that I had a bunch of witch hats in. Because I'm not finding any. It's also very possible that I misplaced them. Right now I have a whopping 3 sugarcane. Cool. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and use that. But we are going to need... Oh, whoops. I don't need paper. I'm not used to needing sugar for much of anything. Alright, let me go down here and get some sugar canes. It's not going to take very long because I live right next to a swamp. Yeah, maybe after the cat factory we might put that in. But anyways, we're going to need 16 pieces of sugar. It's not all that expensive, but... it won't take very long to gather. Look at all that sugar cane over there. Also, the sand town is where we're going to have our water strainer stuff as well. So we'll be starting that that very, very soon. A lot of our production stuff is going to be in the sand town. A lot of it's here too, though. But anyways, there is our speed runes. Oh wait, I'm going to need more stone. Let me go grab some more stone. Alright, so there's our 8 speed runes, and then we'll just run over here real quick and we'll upgrade this. And then I know it's about wrapping up point. It took a little bit longer than intended to working on the bank and stuff like that. That was half a headache, I tell you what. Between the disappearing NPCs and everything. Now, technically you could, now that I think about it, you could semi-automate this with hoppers. It would work. But I don't care. I don't really mind it so much. So, anyways, now we have a tier 2 blood altar. Oops. And of course we can then make better slates. So if I throw in a blank slate, now as a tier 2 it's only actually going to pull effects from this rune, this rune, this rune, and this rune, I believe. Unless they've changed that. I haven't looked to see if they changed that in 1.10. That's just one of those things like, you know, there's certain things like that I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't even care to bother looking it up. And that's one of those things. Like, if it works, it works. I don't know. But anyways, reinforced slate. So we can start getting our tier 2 slates and then working on upgrading our altar to a tier 3 altar. So, but anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point. We will do a little bit of blood magic here and there. I'm not going to like slam through blood magic. So, I mean, next episode we're not going to be doing blood magic. Honestly, I think next episode we'll be working on the cat factory. Is kind of my plan, because getting that in place is going to really help us out with resources. Like right now, I mean, I could go get diamonds from dragon layers, but I've been kind of lazy, so I'm low on diamonds, things like that. Getting the cat factory in place would just make life a whole lot easier, because we'd have diamonds coming in, we'd have all this stuff. Now, I mean, it's not like a diamond a second or anything like that, but it's constant diamonds, it's constant emeralds, it's constant, literally everything just about coming in. So I would like to get that in place next episode. I actually have a really cool idea for the build for that. I think you guys are going to like it a lot. I'm super excited to put it, you know, start working on it and everything. So that's the plan for next episode. And then probably the episode after that, depending, I will say the cat factory is actually a pretty big build, big undertaking, I guess. It's not so much that it's a big build, it's just that it's a very precise build. It's going to take me a while to put together. So after that, depending on if I get it built or not, we might start Astral Sorcery or the Subway. I've got to do a lot of work for both of those. Or we might set up our Gaia Guardian arena and do a little bit of Britannia stuff between those projects. I don't know. I don't know for sure. We'll see. But anyways, that's the plan. Next episode is Cat Factory. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.